You know, in the world of nutrition, we talk a ton about protein, carbs, and fats. But what if I told you there's another major player, one that's usually overlooked that holds a massive key to your metabolic health, your heart, and even your weight? Yeah, we're talking about dietary fiber. So here's what we're going to break down. We'll start with the huge global fiber gap, then get into what fiber actually is. After that, we'll explore how it works its magic inside your body, look at the proven health benefits, and finally, talk about how you can close that gap for yourself. All right, so let's jump right into the problem. And it is a big one. We're smack in the middle of what's called a global fiber gap, and a lot of experts see this as a real public health issue that's tied directly to some of our biggest health crises. Now get this number is it's so simple, but it's really shocking when you think about it. On average, most people in North America are getting less than 50% of the fiber they're supposed to get every day. We're basically running on half a tank, nutritionally speaking. And this isn't some minor detail. This fiber gap isn't just a statistic, it's directly linked to the rising tide of chronic illnesses that affect millions of people. We're talking about higher risks of obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even nagging problems like chronic constipation. And to really put a fine point on it, global obesity rates have almost tripled in just the last 50 years or so. And while, sure, there are a bunch of factors, researchers have pointed out that this scary trend lines up perfectly with a major shift towards processed diets that are super low in fiber. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. It's pretty clear. Now let's talk about the solution, the fiber itself. What exactly is this stuff that our bodies are missing so much? Okay, so in a nutshell, dietary fiber is just a special kind of carbohydrate that comes from plants. Now here's the twist. Unlike other carbs, our body can't actually digest it. So it basically travels through our system pretty much intact, and it's on that journey that all the magic happens for our health. Now, fiber isn't just one single thing, it's split into two main teams. First, you've got soluble fiber. This stuff dissolves in water and creates a kind of gel. Think of it like a sponge that slows everything down, helps control your blood sugar and cholesterol, and makes you feel full. Then there's insoluble fiber. This one doesn't dissolve. Its job is to add bulk, kind of like a broom that sweeps everything through and keeps you regular. So we know we've got these two types, but how do they actually pull off all these amazing health benefits? Well, it's really an incredible two-part story that unfolds as fiber makes its way through you. First, you have the physical action. This happens up in your stomach and small intestine. It's all about mechanics, adding bulk, soaking up water, and just slowing the whole process down. But then there's the biological action. This happens way down in the large intestine. And this, my friends, is where things get really interesting. So let's look at stage one, the physical part. As fiber moves through your stomach, it basically bulks up the food. This physically slows down how fast your stomach empties. And the result? You feel fuller for longer. That feeling of satiety is absolutely crucial for keeping hunger in check and helping reduce how much you eat overall. And now for stage two, which is just amazing. When that soluble fiber finally reaches your large intestine, it becomes food, literally a feast, for the trillions of good bacteria living in your gut. It works as a prebiotic, which means it nourishes your microbiome and helps all those beneficial microbes thrive. So here's the absolute key takeaway. When your gut bacteria feast on all that fiber, they produce these incredible compounds called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These molecules are the real superstars here. They get absorbed into your body and act as powerful messengers, influencing everything from taming inflammation to regulating your appetite. They're a huge deal. So this whole two-stage process, the physical part and the biological part, is what leads to some serious scientifically proven wins for our health. And this isn't just a nice theory, we have tons of studies to back it all up. We can pretty much group all these benefits into three main pillars: better cardiovascular health, way better blood sugar regulation, and of course, improved gut health and weight management. Let's look at the proof for each one. First up, heart health. I mean, this quote from a massive review in the British Medical Journal says it all. After they analyzed 22 huge studies, the conclusion was just crystal clear. Eating more fiber is strongly, and I mean strongly, linked to a lower risk of heart disease. And check this out. It shows just how powerful this is. That same study found that for every extra 7 grams of fiber you eat a day, and that's roughly a bowl of oatmeal with some berries, your risk for both cardiovascular and coronary heart disease drops by a whopping 9%. That's a huge return on investment. Okay, on to our second pillar, blood sugar. This is where fiber is an absolute game changer for metabolic health. It's one of the best dietary weapons we have against insulin resistance and ultimately type 2 diabetes. So how does it do it? Well, that gel, that soluble fiber forms, it slows down how quickly sugar gets absorbed. That means you avoid those big, nasty blood sugar spikes after you eat. And over time, that helps your body become more sensitive to insulin, which is just fundamental for preventing and managing diabetes. And finally, pillar number 3, gut and weight management. We've kind of touched on this already, right? The insoluble fiber keeps you regular. But the bigger picture here is fiber's role in helping you maintain a healthy weight simply by making you feel full and satisfied, which naturally leads to eating fewer calories overall. So we've seen the problem, we get how fiber works, and we've looked at the powerful proof behind its benefits. The last piece of the puzzle is figuring out how to actually apply all this to our own lives.
Let's do a quick recap of the big points. 1. Most of us are in a serious fiber deficit. 2. Fiber's power comes from a 1-2 punch, the physical effect of making you feel full and the biological magic of feeding your gut microbes. 3. Eating more fiber is proven to lower your risk for the big chronic diseases. And 4. Those byproducts, the SCFAs, are the real heroes doing a lot of the heavy lifting for your metabolic health.
And really, all of this science boils down to one very personal question. You have this entire ecosystem of trillions of microbes inside you, and their health is completely tied to yours. So knowing what you know now, what are you going to feed them today?